Good day, everyone. I am Miss SYREAH RAMIREZ, and today I am going to discuss about summative assessment. What is summative assessment? Summative assessment are cumulative evaluation used to measure growth after instruction and are generally given at the end of a course in order to determine whether long-term goals have been met. Summative assessment focus on what the student has learned at the end of a unit of instruction or at the end of a grade level. Summative assessment is an assessment administered at the end of an instruction unit in a course. These assessments are intended to evaluate students' learning by comparing performance to standard or benchmark. They are often high stakes, meaning they have a high point value. Summative assessments are given to students at the end of an instructional period. They are evaluative rather than diagnostic and are used to measure whether a course's learning objectives were met. So what are the purpose of summative assessment? Summative assessment purpose is to let the teachers and students know the level of accomplishment attained. So through summative assessment, the teachers will be able to know the attainment of their students. This is also to evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional unit by comparing it against some standard or benchmark. It builds a picture of the student's progress over time through the evidence that teachers have collected. So what are the difference between summative assessment and formative assessment? In terms of purpose, formative assessment used as an ongoing feedback to improve the process of learning. So formative assessment gives feedback, and through this feedback, the students will be able to improve their learning. Summative assessment used to measure the learning that has taken. Since summative assessment is given at the end of the unit, then it measures the learning that has taken by the student. Document student learning at the end of instructional segment. In terms of report, informative assessment, the learners receives feedback and is encouraged. So through feedback that was given by the teachers to students, the students will be encouraged to do more and develop their learnings. Summative assessment, feedback is often in a form of report to a third party. So when we say to a third party, this refers to it may be department head or parent. So when formative assessment, this is generally happens during the learning process, while summative assessment generally tends to be the final assessment after the learning process and is normally linked to rewards. So rewards here refers to pass or fail. So since summative assessment is given at the end of the unit, so this will serve as the final assessment after the learning process. So here are the benefits and limitations of summative assessment. First, we are going to tackle the benefits. Necessary for determining students' grades and placement. Summative assessment also promotes student and teacher accountability. It provides a means of evaluating instructional activities. And last, it encourages students' activity engagement with course materials. In terms of limitations, summative assessment tendency for over-reliance on summative measures. This may also promote cheating due to high-level nature assessment. It has been faulted for promoting learning for the test. It does not provide information for correcting errors. So here are some examples of summative assessment. First is the midterm exams. So midterm exams is considered as summative assessment because it is given at the end of a term. The second one is the chapter test. So it is considered a summative assessment, for it is given at the end of the unit. So after the process, so after the whole chapter discussion, then the chapter test will be given. That is why it is considered as summative assessment. Now, if you want to know more about summative assessment, here is my references. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.